Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and Brad Garlinghouse is celebrating his 50th birthday today, is my understanding. And so I sent out what I think is one of the funnier video clips of him, facial expressions, and told him happy birthday. So happy birthday to Brad Garlinghouse, 50 years old. I did not know he was 50. XRP Bart sent me this. China's capital city, Beijing, will give out 50,000 red envelopes, each containing 200 yuan, which is $30.92 worth of digital currency, starting from Sunday. That's a local report. So they're getting the ball really rolling with their digital currency. Now, FudFit sent me this. This I thought was a pretty good clip. The guy here is Mark Yusko, who's a very smart guy. He's a Bitcoin maximalist, but he's a very smart guy that I think he went to Duke University. But he is Anthony Pompliano's partner, and he's talking to that Raoul Pal guy.
Of our currency. And the example I use is on that trip, I paid for a gallon of gas, actually a lot of gallons of gas to go into Winnebago. And I was in California. I paid $4.33. And I ask people all the time, what's the lowest price you remember for paying for a gallon of gas? And mine was 33 cents in Seattle, where I grew up. And it's the same gallon of gas. It does the exact same thing. It's actually a little less good because it has ethanol in it now. So it's not that the gas got better, it's that the money got worse. And that pace of money getting worse is accelerating at an accelerating pace. So the third derivative is getting worse. And that means that I have this great chart, I call it the X factor. And, from 5,000 years, gold was money. And then in 1971, fiat became money. And fiat will eventually go down one side of the X. And crypto, which started in 2009, will go up the other side of the X and just displace bad money.
Okay, so I thought that was interesting. And it's true. Look, but this hang up that all these people have on this inferior technology Bitcoin is, look, I own some Bitcoin, but I just, there's something about it, the idea that all of these people are pushing what they know is proof of work, this inferior technology that's very vulnerable, is kind of weird to me. And so I'm going to make some points about that today. XRP James, he's the DAI channel official former Navy SEAL, which means he can probably kick some A word, as my 8-year-old would say. He sent me a tweet from Gene Simmons, and I wanted to make a point here. He had sent me a tweet about how he was tweeting about Dogecoin or Dogecoin. But I think there's a bigger point to be made here. It's not one tweet, it's a bunch of tweets. Now, remember who Gene Simmons is. He is the marketing genius behind Kiss, the band, okay? And he was also in the band. But what's happening here, what's really happening here is Gene's, and this is great for all of us in crypto, because when people that are marketing geniuses like Gene Simmons are locked on to how big of a deal crypto is and is going to become, that tells you a lot. He knows now. And when Gene Simmons knows, that means that he knows that a lot of people are coming. And that's good for you and for me. Look at his tweet thread. And look, when you see these guys talking about this Dogecoin and all of this, just remember, this guy's a marketer. And he and Elon Musk are having fun with it. And they probably, maybe he wants to make a quick buck too, who knows. But ultimately, that is the marketing that's going to drive people into this space. This is one example of some of the marketing that's going to drive people into the space. Look what he put here. I thought this was funny. He put God of Dogecoin. I thought that was funny. But he's tweeting about all kinds of things. He said that, I read one tweet, he said he had 7 figures in Bitcoin. He's got 6 figures in Dogecoin. What else does he say? Ethereum, Dogcoin, Litecoin, Chainlink. Yes, I own them all. So he's in the game and he knows what's happening now, and that's a good thing for all of us. Now, the crypto market has gotten to 1.2 trillion. I wanted to point that out. XRP is holding strong for a digital asset that's been attacked by the SEC. I think that's pretty darn good. The performance, it's well above what it was when they filed that suit. Well, Mr. B came in and he said 1.2 trillion market cap. And I retweeted it and did the Dr. Evil thing, one of my favorite movies ever. Okay, Ripple tweeted this out yesterday. From record-breaking crypto market caps and phenomenal growth in derivative offerings, ooh, there's that word again, to the SEC lawsuit. It was an interesting quarter, to say the least. Read the latest XRP markets report. And here is the report. What I would say about this report, the most interesting thing is they really lay out all of the, almost like they're documenting everything. They lay out how the SEC enforcement action has harmed the market and retail investors and Ripple itself and all of the players in the game. And that is one of the more interesting parts of this. Now, Monica Long, I thought this was interesting. Monica Long was being a little aggressive in her tweets, and I thought it was great. I like to see this out of people at Ripple. Q4 was eventful for XRP markets. Major banks, DBS and Standard Chartered Ventures, integrated XRP into their crypto offerings. SEC lawsuit stripped XRP markets of at least $15 billion in value, not accounting for larger crypto rally. And then she says, as with previous quarters, Ripple continued to focus solely on over-the-counter sales and short-term leases as a part of providing XRP liquidity to certain ODL customers in Q4. For well over a year, we haven't sold XRP programmatically. And then she tweeted this, which is a little more aggressive. Every time someone reports on Bitcoin energy usage, many in crypto react with whataboutisms just because cash emits more CO2 and is used far more. And banks aren't transparent about their emissions doesn't mean that crypto emissions should be ignored. If and hopefully when crypto and blockchain technology become core to our global financial infrastructure, this problem will only get worse. As Bitcoin mining difficulty goes up, so do emissions. Let's focus on solutions instead. Here's an open source tool to source renewable energy for any blockchain, co-developed by Ripple and Energy Web X. So, Monica Long getting out there, I like that. Okay, now this is one of the things I took from the report. The quote was I thought it was interesting that Ripple pointed this out. The overall market rally was led primarily by Bitcoin, with some market participants noting that U.S. traders who sold out of XRP post-SEC news seemed to have contributed meaningfully toward the rally in Bitcoin. And I said, SEC bringing a suit after 8 years makes no sense, ... or does it? And so that's, and then I made a couple more points. Let me show you. First, never forget, the only thing Bitcoin has is its first mover advantage and being at the top of the list, okay? And it's got, think about it for a second. Every time you turn on CNBC, what do they talk about? Bitcoin. It's got that, and it's got that despite the fact that everybody that's invested in Bitcoin, they know that technologically it's a joke compared to just about everything else on CoinMarketCap. They know it, okay? But they continue to push it, and there are forces in play that they have to keep that thing in the number one spot, and that's the point I'm making here. Because, like I said here, if it's ever jumped by better tech, which is almost everything else, it would all of a sudden lose all of the free marketing and at the same time have to actually compete. It would have to. The people that are pushing Bitcoin, if it ever lost that number one spot, they would all of a sudden have to explain why should Bitcoin be a store of value when it takes when the market's going crazy, when it might take 2 hours to send a Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin known as this store of value when over here you've got, say, XRP that you can also store value in? It's also in limited amount, but you can send it in 3 seconds no matter what the market's doing. Why is Bitcoin? If they ever had to start answering those questions and actually be compared to other technologies, it would be a disaster, and Bitcoin wouldn't be around long. So far, they have not been forced to answer these questions. And the reason they haven't been forced to answer these questions is what I said right here. Bitcoin is not a company, but it does have a huge marketing department. If you think there aren't people in boardrooms around the world with connections to media that don't plan and plot how to keep Bitcoin in that #1 spot, I have an igloo in South Georgia still for sale. And I will go back to this. SEC bringing a suit after 8 years makes no sense. Or does it? And look at that quote. I'll read the last part here. U.S. traders who sold out of XRP post-SEC news seemed to have contributed meaningfully toward the rally in Bitcoin. Okay, I wanted to show you, I saw this article and I thought it was interesting. 2021 Bitcoin predictions from 5 crypto leaders. Okay, they've got Tim Draper on here. He's got 250,000 prediction by the end of 2022 or early 2023. And then Justin Sun, let's see what he says. Bitcoin could potentially hit a high of 318,000, that's pretty specific, by December 2021. Let's see who else. Roger Ver. Let me see if he put a number to it. I don't see Roger Ver having a number. Adam Draper, which is Tim Draper's son, what does he say? I don't see a number for him. But look what he says here. The focus on the decentralizing the internet, pick around there and you will find the biggest opportunities. I'm excited about unstoppable domains and others in that space. Okay, Eric Richmond, Chief COO and VP at CoinSquare, he says, let's see, he doesn't have a number either. But anyway, the most interesting one that I saw here was this, 318,000 by 2021, and the fact that Tim Draper is standing by his 250,000 by end of 2022 or early 2023. He looks like he's on course to be right. Now, I wanted to bring a couple of other things to your attention. The first is Link2 had tweeted this out last night. We're proud to feature Marquetta, this is why I keep talking about this Link2. And you, by the way, in the description, under my sponsorships, in the description of all of my videos and in my comments section, there are links where you can go and download the Link2 app or go to their website and open an account. This, if you're approved as an accredited investor, you can buy private equity. That's what this is about. So they said we're proud to feature Marquetta, and these are companies that are not just blockchain, but technology, like cutting edge technology that's coming or is arriving. These are the private things before they go IPO. There's some tremendous opportunities there. We're proud to feature Marquetta, whose collaboration with Goldman Sachs and anticipated $10 billion IPO valuation promised great success. And they have a link where you can learn more about it. And one of the links takes you here where you can see yesterday they were sold out. They just added more Marquetta shares to the mix. So now you can get them right now at $33.60 on the Link2 platform. Now I want to show you this because I want to give you another idea, because I'm going to tell you I just put some money in Filecoin, and I did it because this video, I was watching Greg Kidd on Twitter yesterday in this video. This is about the 5th or 6th time I've heard him talk about how he's bullish on Filecoin. Listen to the beginning of this.
Thank you, Arena. And Greg, same question to you. Where are you placing your bets over the next year?
Well, I've always got a piece of Bitcoin, but we're always looking to hopefully bet on the next thing. I remember I was at Y Combinator and there was this guy sitting around and he didn't have anybody on his team. And I said, well, where's your team? He says, I don't have one. And I'm like, well, that's kind of sad. He says, yeah, I just have this white paper, and his name was Juan, and his white paper it's this concept called proof of stake. This was Filecoin. And so this concept of a distributed Dropbox, and I'm like, well, it's like the Benny Hill show. I'd buy that for $1. So I made an investment. And so
okay, so that's about the 5th time I've heard him bring this up. So I decided to just look into it a little bit, and then ended up buying it. And you can, by the way, you can get it on Coinbase if you're interested in this. Watch this. One of the guys in here I want you to draw your attention to. The first guy you're going to see is the guy who created Filecoin. But the next guy, there's a guy from the Andreessen Horowitz venture capital firm who literally tells you about how this could be a moneymaker. Watch this.
We realized that we could use the same kind of incentive structures of Bitcoin to create a decentralized storage network. There is a massive amount of unused latent storage out there. The vision for Filecoin is to create a decentralized storage market, a network kind of like Airbnb, where all that unused storage can be sold on the market. So with this vast amount of supply joining the network that is not currently connected, we can optimize our resources and drop the cost of storage. One of the key things about the Filecoin network is that there is a native token to the system, and that's a Filecoin. It's the medium of exchange for this decentralized market. Users spend Filecoin to hire the network to store their files, and storage providers get paid in Filecoin, which scales with how much storage they add and how close they are to the users.
One of the powerful things about Filecoin is that it allows individuals to be incentivized to act as parts of a network. Each individual will contribute their part and get paid for it, but then the sum of all the individuals will create a network that is much more powerful than the systems that we have today.
Filecoin can be exchanged for Bitcoin, Ethereum, dollars, euros, and so on, or users can hold on to their Filecoin, which may appreciate as the network grows.
Anybody who uses the technology can become an investor in the technology. They can buy tokens, and if Filecoin is successful, they can share in that financial success. It's kind of like anybody in the world being able to get a seed investment in a Google or a Facebook or an Amazon or something like that.
He literally just said that an investment in Filecoin would be like a seed investment in a Google or something like that. So anyway, there's been enough, and I did a little more research on this before I bought any. If you look here, these are the venture capital firms. You'll see Andreessen Horowitz, and there's the Winklevoss brothers. They're investors in this as well. And then look right here, what you're looking at, this is Andreessen Horowitz's venture capital firm. They're also invested in Ripple, by the way. So they're investors in Filecoin. And then this capped off my decision right here. These are the digital assets that Digital Currency Group, which is also one of the early investors in Ripple, these are the digital assets that they own. It's on their website, and Filecoin is one of them. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that yes, XRP is by long shot my largest holding, and always will be, or always is a long word. It is going to be for the foreseeable future. but Filecoin is just one of the handful that I added to what I own, because Greg Kidd I call him the man with the Midas touch, and I've heard him say it at least 5 times in different videos and things about Filecoin, and that's his thing. So I've heard enough. Thank you for listening.